Hello and welcome, I'm Adam from Full Charge Ahead, and this is my 2022 Chevy Bolt EUV real world review. I've driven it almost 13,000 kilometers now, and I'm here to give you my honest opinion on how this vehicle has fared me. Now there's no real big difference between the 22s and 23s, so this review should stand for the 23 models as well. EUV means it's an electric crossover, which means it's a compact SUV. Both the EV and the EUV share the same 200 horsepower motor, 65 kilowatt battery, and electric powertrain. The EUV, however, is about a 6-inch longer vehicle with a 6-inch longer wheelbase, a few inches taller, and 3 inches more leg space in the back. Both the EUV and the EV have similar cargo space, despite the EUV being slightly larger on the outside and in the back seat. Overall, I really love this vehicle. It's been a lot of fun to drive with instant torque. It's been a top performer, it's been reliable. The biggest drawback for it, though, I'd have to say, is the relatively slow DC fast charging rate. The fastest it can DC fast charge is 55 kilowatts. It will taper down pretty quick. That's a very dead battery state because the more you fill your battery with the DC fast charge, the slower it tapers off into a trickle charge towards the end. So the DC fast charge rate isn't that fast, but when you charge at home level 2, level 1, it doesn't make a difference, and that's what I do most of the time. So I'm just going to try and work it into road trips that I need to allow a little more time if I'm going far. But that would have to be one of the biggest drawbacks. A little bit glitchy with some of the electronics, but it all works out with a good restart and you're good to go again. So there are a couple vehicles, or several, on the market right now that can charge much faster at 350 kilowatts or just beneath it, such as the Kia EV6 and the Hyundai Ioniq 5. They can both charge from about 10% to 80% in roughly 20 minutes, whereas the Chevy Bolt and the Bolt EUV, they charge more around an hour and 5 minutes to go from 10% to 80%, so a little bit slower of a fast charging, but if you're level 2 charging at home, it really doesn't make a difference, and that's what most people do almost all of the time, because your fast charging is generally when you're on a road trip, which generally isn't on a regular basis for most people. However, the Bolt and Bolt EUV can charge roughly 161 kilometers in 30 minutes, so if that's enough, then this may be the vehicle for you. In terms of home charging, you can easily schedule the Bolt to charge at whatever time of day you wish in the in-vehicle menu system. Now this vehicle has been a lot of fun to drive with instant torque, great maneuverability, really good outward visibility. You can see what you want to do. You got your 10.2-inch infotainment screen with an excellent responsive touchscreen. Technology is quite good. I was quite impressed for a Chevy, absolutely. And really, I mean, there's been a little bit of glitches here and there with a little bit of things, but with resetting the vehicle and whatever diagnostic test was on and everything, by the end, everything's working great again. Yeah, it's really quite the vehicle. One nice thing I do appreciate is, say you're sitting in your vehicle and you're at a charge or even driving down the highway, you can call OnStar and run a diagnostic test to your vehicle if anything's screwy, in which they can also reset the vehicle while you're driving it. And sometimes features come back to life, like Super Cruise or something, if somehow you lost it. And yeah, overall, everything's working pretty much top-notch after multiple months of using it, and I drive my car quite a bit, so that works for me. A Tesla Model 3 will give you superior range and technology and charge speeds, but you're going to pay the price for them. They're much more expensive. And also, Tesla limited most buttons, including buttons for climate control, and I appreciate using buttons for climate control and other features. I'm not a one screen, one solution kind of guy. I like buttons for what I do. Now, one of the coolest features about the Bolt is the one-pedal driving and regen braking. Now, how that works is when you push the little button next to you on the seat, you can activate the one-pedal driving. So every time you take your foot off the accelerator pedal, your brake lights will come on and you will gradually, casually drift to a stop as if your brakes are on a little bit. And it's not actually using your brakes. Instead of stopping your car by squeezing your brakes or brake rotors, what it's actually doing is it's turning the transmission to charge the battery. So you can see right on your display there exactly how much charge you're getting out of every stop of the vehicle. And these little jolts of electricity, they add up. Sometimes you're charging way faster than a fast charger just for a few seconds when you stop the vehicle, and that's amazing. You're recovering energy from nothing and you're not wearing out your brakes unnecessarily. Now there is a sweet spot. There's a bit of a double-edged sword with the whole regen braking thing. You're going to want to use your brakes once in a while. If you go multiple years by hardly ever touching your brakes, they will start to rust out because they're traditional car brakes. So you want to use your brakes a little bit, but your pads should last you far longer than your average ICE vehicle. And having that little display of showing exactly how many kilowatts you're charging versus how much you're using from driving really shows you how much energy you're getting from it, which makes it kind of like a video game of how much range extra you can get out of driving. It's actually pretty amazing. Not only can regen braking occur when you take your foot off the accelerator pedal and you begin to gradually brake, but there's also a paddle on the left-hand side of the steering wheel that it causes a little bit more aggressive regen braking. So if you're coming up to a bit more of an abrupt stop, you can hit that and you can regen a little bit faster. And that's awesome too. It just gets better and better. The one pedal driving button is actually located in the console between the front two seats and not on the seat. It is also to be noted, if you do use one pedal driving, that the brake pedal is always available at any time should any emergency scenarios arise. If at any point you want to turn off one pedal driving, just push the button next to you on the seat there and it turns it right off, and it drives much like your classic ICE vehicle, allowing anyone to drive your vehicle at any time. That's a great feature to have. So another really great feature of this vehicle is in the infotainment center. If you bring up the energy menu, you can see the different statistics of the different factors affecting your driving range, such as the external temperature, the terrain, as in how many hills you've climbed, your driving technique, and the climate settings, so how much AC and heat you've used on your journey. So all these things do affect your range, and you can see it lined out mathematically right before you. Also, say you go to work and you see what your commute is for how much energy you use to drive to work. Like, this is all calculatable, so you can see exactly how much this electricity will affect your hydro bill. Also, every time you step down the accelerator pedal, it'll show exactly how many kilowatts of energy you're using just from burning from driving through the city or highway, and that's really cool to have. And just having all of these stats and data at your fingertips makes it very easy to be more energy conscious to keep your battery range up. Super Cruise is Chevy's fantastic self-driving feature that allows your car to move and drive semi-autonomously. So it'll do most of the driving if you go down a major highway, and it's fantastic. Super Cruise uses a variety of sensors, cameras, LiDAR, and road sensors to pull off what it does, and it does a darn good job, I'd say. Super Cruise currently operates on over 300,000 kilometers of highways in North America, and it's rapidly expanding. Soon they want to add the Trans-Canada Highway, and down in the States, Route 66 and Highway 1. Basically, you kind of feel like a superhero driving with your mind, but what it does is there's a little sensor on the top of the steering wheel that watches your face and monitors you to make sure that you're paying attention. If you're on your phone or distracted, it will start blinking and warning you to pay attention. Otherwise, this thing is gonna stop. So what you got to do is use it in generally good conditions. It's not designed for rain, winter, fog, all this stuff, but it fares pretty well, but you got to be careful. It's not liability wise, don't use it in bad conditions, of course, and be very careful, be very vigilant. But the feature itself, it sticks to the road. It does a great job. It makes my commute to work and back a dream come true. I absolutely love self-driving feature from Chevy. It's really top-notch stuff. This is actually the first Chevy to ever have the feature. It used to be Cadillac only, but now they added it to Chevy and this vehicle. And honestly, it's a great addition. Super Cruise is an optional feature on the Premier Edition. Now, what it is you get 3 years of free use, and then after that, you may have to pay a certain amount each month. Right now, it's about $45 Canadian a month to be able to still use Super Cruise. But the first 3 years are included with the purchase of that feature. It is so nice to focus on the vehicles around you and not so much centering the vehicle in the lane, because really it's the troublemakers around you that you're concerned about. Super Cruise must be added at the point of purchase because they need to have the physical hardware installed for your vehicle as well, such as the sensor on the steering wheel and everything else. Another nice touch with this vehicle is the rear view mirror. You can flip it from a rear view camera to a rear view mirror at the flip of a switch, and that's pretty awesome. When you flip the rear view mirror to camera mode, prepare for a 70s TV show. If you get the Sun and Sound package, the Bose 7-speaker surround system with subwoofer really pumps, and the panoramic sunroof is quite beautiful. Now the Bolt EUV comes with a level 1 and level 2 charger cable directly from Chevy. This is a great piece of kit, okay? So you can plug into a standard 120 volt household outlet and you'll charge very slow. It'll take a few days to charge. It's slow, but it adds up. It's nice to have. But you can also plug into a standard 240 volt outlet from a dryer or say an electric stove. And then you can charge level 2, which can give you a full charge from dead in maybe 10 hours. It's much faster, and honestly, it's a great thing to have, and I'm glad Chevy included it. It's a nice touch, really. The level 1 and level 2 charger cable from Chevy actually is only included with the EUV purchase. With that roughly $20 a month in OnStar package for connected vehicle services, I also get 2 gigabytes of cell phone data for my vehicle a month, which I can then project as Wi-Fi for anyone in the vehicle to use. The energy bubble feature on the app is very neat, so it'll show you on a map exactly how far you can reach with your car with the charge that you currently have, as well as where the dashed line is from the point of no return where you'd have to charge if you went any further and came back. Seat comfort is another one of the sticking points for the Bolts. They got a little better in 2022, but if you want the most comfortable seating experience, you're going to have to upgrade to the leather trim. Definitely sit in one to see how it feels on your butt. Neither the Bolt or Bolt EUV have all-wheel drive. The Nissan Leaf also doesn't offer all-wheel drive, but the Kia EV6, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Toyota BZ4X, as well as the upcoming Equinox and Blazer EVs all should offer all-wheel drive. This is kind of a cool little piece of tech. So the Kia EV6 and the Hyundai Ioniq 5 both offer augmented reality HUD display, where it actually projects your speed and other information on the windshield just beneath your line of sight so that you're not taking your eyes off the road as much, and that actually sounds pretty cool. Just to be clear, that augmented reality HUD display is not available on the Bolt EV or EUV. Now there's another reason why the Bolts are more affordable now, and that is the Bolt battery recall. So what happened there is there was a manufacturing defect with LG. There was a couple 100,000 Bolts manufactured, but roughly maybe 19 or so caught fire. There were early warning signs. It wasn't an explosion, but they did tend to catch fire. So Chevy owned it as well as LG, and they replaced every single battery pack from 2017 to 2022. So they're all rocking new packs, and these packs are performing well. This vehicle is becoming quite the exciting buy. It should also be noted that with the Bolt battery recall, the Hyundai Konas were also affected, and every single one had to have their battery replaced as well. What I do is I generally keep my battery charged to about 85% for during the week, because that fits all I need for daily use. And then on the weekends, if I want to roll out of town, I'll just go in the menu system on the infotainment center, hit it up to 100%, and within an hour or so I'm at 100 and I'm ready to rock. Another great feature of the Chevy Bolt is that the guessometer is what EV owners tend to nickname it, where it has your maximum range, your minimum range, and your average range according to how aggressive your driving is. It's actually quite accurate with the Bolt. I love that about it. It does a pretty good job of guessing how far you'll get per range on your battery. I do recommend that you keep a 10mm wrench in the glove box in case you ever need to disconnect the accessory battery for any purpose or to reset any error codes. When I bought my Bolt EUV in late July, I was also eligible for the $5,000 tax incentive from the federal government of Canada. That $5,000 was taken off at the point of sale. I didn't even have to see it or file it with my taxes. It was great. Some provinces may have more rebates. And in the US, there may be some tax incentives as of January 1st with the Inflation Reduction Act. In terms of federal tax incentives in Canada, both the premium and LT trim of the Bolt EUV qualify for a $5,000 tax incentive, as well as the LT trim of the Bolt EV. The 2023 Bolt EVs start at $31,500 for 260 miles of range, or in Canada they start at $38,000 for 417 kilometers of range. The 2023 Bolt EUVs start at $33,500 US for 250 miles of range, or in Canada they start at $40,000 for 397 kilometers of range. With the purchase of a Bolt, you also get a 100,000 mile or 160,000 kilometer propulsion and battery warranty. Now if you do add the extended warranty and the gap insurance, you will get 24/7 roadside assistance in North America, as well as rim and tire damage protection, which is great. They'll fix those for free apparently, which I love. If you do get the warranty, it's probably a good idea to do checkups with your dealer every 12,000 or so kilometers. It's about $60 Canadian for them to check your antifreeze and your brakes and everything for you. Because if you do have issues with your warranty and you weren't doing that, they could come back on you and say, why weren't you getting it checked out? The warranty from Chevy is fully transferable as well. So when you sell it, you can legally put it in the new owner's name. That way, whoever buys the vehicle will have a full battery warranty, and who doesn't want that? The main difference between the 22s and 23 EUVs is in 23, they offered the Red Line Edition, which is an appearance package, adding red stripes and accents to the EUV. With the purchase of a Bolt and Bolt EV, you can currently get $1,500 Canadian in credit towards the install of a level 2 charger at your home, roughly $1,000 US. Or if you live in a condo and you can't charge regularly at home, you can get $750 in EVgo fast charge credit for credit at certain fast chargers. In conclusion, this has been an excellent vehicle that's been a reliable and steady performer. The range has been good, the power is excellent, and it's been getting the job done. So tell me, what are you going to buy? Are you going to buy an EV or a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, straight gas or diesel? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.